course, we are out here today to bring light, because you know how it is. We don't have a snuff film of our people dying. We gotta bring the awareness to ourselves. We gotta come out here and make the noise for these people. So today we out here for the Freeman family. I'm gonna let them say their own story, because only they can say their own story. But of course, we're gonna talk about the justice system. We're gonna talk about that nasty ass workhouse. I don't know who else ain't never been in there, but I've been in there. I almost died in there myself. I had a seizure in there, and they just rolled me to another room. They didn't care. I know countless people in there that OD'd in there, died. I know it's dirty, it's nasty, it's one of the worst jails in the country. For real, it's unjust, because you got 23 hours, most times 24 hours of no sunlight. You are in solitary confinement with 30 other people, and it's only meant for 15 other people. And you in there solitary confinement, and you in there by yourselves, and you're in there crowded, and you're in there hot, or you're in there cold, and you're in there smelling like whatever they boiling over there that smells like hot caca. I'm trying to keep my language down. But that's what we're here today. We're here to bring light on a situation that happened in there that shouldn't happen to anybody. No matter your status in life, you should still have rights. You should still have dignity, no matter what you do, no matter what your crime is. No matter what you do, that's why we have a justice system. We have a system. It is not just you're going to die because you jaywalked or whatever you did. You got to go to court. You got to see the lawyer, talk to your lawyer, see the judge, and then you bring your crime and you get adjudicated for your crime and you do your time. Nowhere does it say that there's a capital punishment for doing whatever. So they're trying to make every crime a capital punishment. So that brings us all here together today. Once again, we got to add another name. Once again, we got to add another name. I'm say it again. Once again, we got to add another name on the list that we say we don't want to add no more names. We keep coming out here, and it be the same core people. The people that's out here today, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people in TV land. We need some support. And when you meet these families, you put yourself in these family shoes, because it can easily be you. It can easily be your brother. It can easily be your mother. It can easily be your sister. Anyway, in this system is cattle slavery, however they want to call it, 13th Amendment, however they want to call it. It is detriment to our community. And you don't even have to be black to be in our community. You just have to have the right money statute. Or not the right money statute, you get a lawyer. Because believe me, if we had $1 million lawyers right now, we wouldn't have this problem. We wouldn't be in this court. We would have justice. Whatever way you want to make it that word, we could have justice. But since we don't have all that money right now, and we need funding for everybody to say what you're doing in the park, talking, use your wallets and fund these people. But I'm rambling on, but yeah, I'm rambling on, my bad.
I'm gonna cut in real quick. What a beautiful life we have lost. I said that again. I said, what a beautiful young life we have lost. Again, we are losing the young ones, people. Can I get some crowd feedback? I'm gonna ask some questions real quick.
Yes.
Does fighting happen regularly in jail?
Yes.
Does rape happen regularly in jail?
Yes.
What about drug use in jail?
Oh, yes. That's a must. Yeah, that's definitely.
So it's a failing system,
Yes.
correct? Let me say that again. It's a failing system.
Yes.
But the real question is, how long has that system been failing? Since it's been put in place. It's been taking us off this earth. And because it keeps taking us off this earth, that system needs to go.
That's right.
It only makes sense that we get rid of the current system.
That's right.
I know some people don't like talking about abolition. I know that's a scary word to a lot of people, but it's a word we need to start looking at just by definition. It means to delete current system.
That's right.
Delete the current system.
That's right.
Okay?
It's not working. It's broken.
The fighting that happens in there is ridiculous. This is a place where we send people for reform.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh man, how you gonna get reformed if you're getting drugs in there? If you're being raped in there? If you're constantly fighting in there? If they're not feeding you enough in there? If you're being extorted in there?
That's true.
If you're not being educated in there, you're being mistreated in there. And then we send these people back onto the street where they don't become better people, they become better criminals, because even out here, the law still takes away from them. They can't get housing. they can't get good jobs.
That's right.
They're battling even when they done their
Tell the
time.
truth.
Yes.
That's true.
This is a system in which it captured this beautiful life at an early age. She was battling through the system. She's been there multiple times. And you know what? The system did nothing for her. Every time she went in there, they didn't reform her. They got a check off of her. That's correct.
That's right. That's true.
And when we're looked at as numbers, we're treated as animals in these systems. There's no love or compassion for us within these systems. What are we supposed to do when we come back to our community? I want to say, closing for me, I am so deeply sorry for the loss of this beautiful life. Because again, we keep losing these beautiful lives within these systems that don't work for us.
Right.
So I'm going to challenge everybody here who can hear me today. What we're going to do is we're going to challenge our own complacency within these systems. In order to get change, we must work hard for that change. We must be out here daily, monthly,
That's right.
weekly,
Boots on the ground.
every hour, boots on the ground, because we need change, or this is going to happen a lot more. It's going to happen regularly, and it already does. So again, I'm challenging your own complacency today to be that change, to fight this system before it takes one of yours.
That's right.
That's right.
There's mine tomorrow.
My name is Malia. I'm part of the Comes Downtown as along with Devon here. And there's a lot of reasons that we have to come out. This is unfortunately yet another one. The system is broken, and in all the many facets in which the community is hurting and is affected directly by law enforcement. It's just that many reasons and many ways in which we need to change it. Being incarcerated, and whether that is on a federal level or in county jail, there should be 24-hour surveillance. They come around every night to make sure that you're there because they want to clock your freedom, but they don't want to clock and make sure that you're okay, that you're that you're making sure that you get to your court date. They're not worried about that.
Come on.
You're not human. You were a criminal before you even stepped foot in the jail.
Come on.
So we need to change the system. The system is broken. We know that. There's too many examples, and unfortunately, there's been another beautiful life that has been added into that. There's another family that has to sit here and fight for something that's owed to them. Justice, humanity, compassion.
Yeah.
They're not doing their jobs. They can try to take it as we're coming from an emotional point of view. We're black, so we feel some type of way. We're biased. Well, why do you think that is? But if you want to hit them with just facts and just keep it on an all-the-way logical level, y'all not doing y'all's jobs. Y'all supposed to make sure they're safe. You're supposed to make sure they're safe from each other and themselves. You're supposed to make sure that they're healthy. You're supposed to make sure that they're alive. And if someone brings it to your attention that someone needs help, you're supposed to bring medical attention to them immediately.
All right.
We've seen instances of police officers being bad to inmates. It's not just on television shows. Jason B. murdered Casey Goodson, had to be taken away from inmate access because he was doing something wrong. And as we already know, already bad stuff happens and they don't get any type of consequences or any type of repercussions. So what can you imagine what he did to actually get some sort of something on him where he can't have access to it? Look at how there was a lack of medical assistance for Andre Hill from both Adam Boyd and Andy Miller. There were 20 plus officers that was on scene that night, and he was alive for a while.
And they didn't help him.
Yeah, so we know how it is. We know what they do. We know what they're capable of. What they're capable of. We unfortunately get to see the proof in the puddles of blood every day. So it is up to us to demand more, and demand more as taxpayers that pay these people to go out here and treat us like we ain't shit.
Thank you.
So you guys have my undying support, because this is something that we all should be passionate about, and it shouldn't take another one of us to die for us to feel like this needs to be corrected.
That's right.
Because it's horribly flawed, and we are paying the ultimate price. And I love each and every last one of y'all, and that's why that love here is going to help us actually make this change. We need to unite and love each other and stand behind that, and stand behind each other and behind these families, because it damn well sure can. It will, maybe, very well will be one of us in the near future, and I pray that that does not happen. But it's very realistic that it may be, and it's very realistic that we need to actually put boots on the ground every day and be out here demanding change in all aspects to get some sort of justice. Justice is bringing her back. You can't do that. Justice is not having her be gone in the first place. So we need to come together and we need to demand more for ourselves and for each other. I'm done with that. Thank you.
Introduce our first speaker. She's a harm reductionist. She's been doing this type of work for about 10 years. She's been like the boots on the ground, passing out Narcan, doing stuff that what we would assume our law enforcers to do and our law enforcement to do, they don't, and they make these people jump through all these hoops in order to get the help and support that they do get. And when they get it, it's terrible support. It's support that humiliates them, makes them feel like less than a human. But she does a great job of treating people with respect who are in these situations, and that's Miss Diana.
Hey y'all, I'm Diana. Like Ramon said, I'm a harm reductionist. So my main focus is people out on the street, meeting people where they're at. A lot of the people I meet with are newly released from jail, or they think they're on their way back. It's like a revolving door. Once you get out and you don't have a place to go, someone's got to call the cops on you for just existing and not having a place to go, and then they take you right back. So before I get started, I also want to say I brought boxes of Narcan. Please take it, and if you need more, you can connect with me, Ramon, or Rita Ruben. This is no questions asked, free. There are other sources in the state that it is free, but you have to answer several questions that can be traumatizing and personal about your experience with overdose and personal information about being incarcerated and health. So if you want Narcan for free, please take it, because we all know bystanders reverse overdoses all the time here. Our state is number 2 for fatal overdoses, but we're ranked in the 30s for drug use. That's a huge gap. And you know this isn't a rare thing for people to be overdosing in the jail. So one of the things I think we need to do more than just stop at awareness and grief. We need to keep pushing for demands to have this available to people that are in jail, not just the officers. That we don't have time to wait around. Every second counts, and it's really, they're high risk. You go in there in withdrawal. It's traumatizing. Not one person here hesitated to say yes when we asked if people were being raped in there and if it's easy to get in drugs in there. Everybody here knows. We need to push for this Narcan to be available, maybe near the phones, and for training for every person that is jailed. And we need to also remember we have stigma within us to break too. The overdose crisis is not an addiction crisis. You do not need to have a chaotic relationship with drugs to be overdosing. And you do not need to actively be doing drugs to go in jail and then overdose. It's really hard to get your medication if you are on medications for regulating your stable life, and they're not quick to disperse or care for you. You are dehumanized once you're in jail. Once they find out you have other mental illnesses or any drug history, they don't want to serve you. They think it's funny that you're sick or you're dying. So we need to push for this to be available to inmates and for them to get trained. And we know that they are high risk once they're released. So we want to get these in the hands of people that are being released and their families. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss one more point. So last year we had record deaths. We had 5,000 overdose deaths last year. And not all of that is on opiates too. So we need to, every single death is preventable. And Nika is a victim of the drug war, the racist drug war. And we cannot afford to lose any more people. We should not be losing any more people. So this is the beginning of where we can start, is making sure everybody has Narcan while we dismantle this fucked system. So dead people can't recover. Whatever you think that recovery looks like, we need the Narcan with everybody. We need it with the families. We need it when they're released. We need inmates trained. for people experiencing incarceration training and to have it available. They should not have to wait on officers who already don't give a shit about them to get the help.
Our next speaker is the mother of the young woman whose life was taken from us at Jackson Pike, Ms. Rita Freeman.
Okay. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
I ain't sure about these mics, but I just want to make sure y'all hear every word that's going to come out of my mouth. The other day when I did an interview, things kind of went a little special. So today we're going to have the full uncut version from Rita, from the horse's mouth. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, can somebody get whoever ringing whatever that is? You know what that is?
Okay.
That's irritating.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know I'm on live. I know. And y'all know I'm special. We gonna be straight with no chaser. On the 25th, I got a phone call from the halfway house that told me my daughter was in the emergency room at OSU. She had been involved in a car accident and that she hit a couple cars and she was in OSU, but she was okay. But as a mother, their versions of okay and my version of okay is two different arenas. Can we agree, mothers?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So I went to the hospital to see my daughter. And she was fine. She had a big knot on her head. But she was fine. We talked, we laughed. Because, she did have a hangover. She was like, clearly, Mom. We laughed, I prayed with her, loved on her. And the last thing my daughter told me was, love you later. And that was the last thing my daughter ever said to me. So as the day progressed, I got a phone call that the halfway house came and picked her up from the emergency room. And after they did what they had to do with her, the jail called me at 4 o'clock and told me they were taking her to Jackson Pike at 4 p.m. on Friday. Okay? We've been there, done that. Rika was a back and forth, she understands Jackson Pike, been there, done that, okay? But I had a missed call that came through at 2:30 that I missed. My sister-in-law and I had an appointment that next morning on Saturday morning, and the missed call was from 614566. That's the prefix of Riverside Hospital or Grant Hospital. I called the number back, and it's the chaplain from Grant Hospital telling me that I need to get there immediately because my daughter is in ICU and she is in critical condition. I'm like, how is that? What happened? He tells me that my daughter was found unresponsive in her cell. Unresponsive? I'm like, okay, maybe she had a concussion from the accident. Maybe that's what I was thinking. So me and my daughter went to the hospital. We get to the hospital, and they pulled me and my daughter in the room, the chaplain and the nurse, and they tell me that my daughter was brain dead. This is the vision that my daughter and I see. And see, I want to be very graphic because I want everybody to understand what I see. This is what I see. Y'all see that? My daughter on life support. This is what I see when I saw my daughter on life support. Now, mind you, that call came in at 2:30 when that chaplain called me, right? She was there from 4 to 2:30 a.m. and my daughter's dead. She's brain dead. She didn't get enough oxygen to her brain when she passed out. Okay. Then the story gets even a little worse. Because they were trying to paint the picture that because my daughter has had previous issues in her past, that was her current situation. My daughter was working. This is a pay stub, people. Fredreca was making $1,000 every 2 weeks. She was working. The news tried to make it twisted like my daughter was being special. She was special, but she was trying to get it right. She was working on them goals, right, Tosh? She was working on them goals, okay? But she was working. She was doing her thing. They wanted to make it seem like my daughter was high on the fentanyl prior to going to Jackson Pike. But see, me being special, you get much more being kind to people than being a butt to people. I have her report from the day she got, when this happened, when she got to the halfway house. And that says she has, okay, you're the closest to me. What does that say she has in her system? What is that? What does it say right there?
The client board had a positive drug test for alcohol.
Alcohol only. So she didn't come in there with no kind of drugs in her system like they was trying to make it seem. So I thought I'd be a little visual. Okay? I even had a cup. I got the cup too. Okay? Nobody came knocking in my door to find out what happened to my daughter. I had to make some noise, and I'm gonna keep making noise every 26th of the month when my daughter dies. I don't give a damn where I'm at. I'm gonna have a rally every 26th of the month till they change that bullshit at Jackson Pike. They should be able to do a body scan if they walking in there with something. It's easy. We have babies that come out of our bodies. It don't matter if you thick, skinny, whatever. Babies come out of our bodies. So you think a sandwich bag is hard to hide? But because they're not doing their job, it slipped through the crack. And my daughter paid the price with her life. This is her baby sister. She had no business having to see her sister like this. I want y'all to have visual. I want everybody to feel my pain. I want my daughter, I had to watch my daughter look at her sister on life support. And they want to say, oh, they took her to Grant where she later died. That's bullshit. My daughter died at Jackson Pike. She died at Jackson Pike. She never came back. She never came back. Never came back. That is not okay. This is the last time I touched my daughter's hand before they took her organs. She donated her organs so 4 people can be present. And this was the last time I touched my daughter with her body being warm before they took her organs. Do y'all understand my pain? Do y'all understand my anger?
Yes.
I had this shirt made for Rika that I am a hero because she gave her organs to help somebody else live. I'm also an organ donor. But I want y'all to get a full picture of the back. I could never have the word Jackson Pike on my front because they are damn sure behind me.
That's right.
Can you see that?
Yes.
You see that? Y'all see that? Rika gave her life. Rika passed so 4 people can be present. Rika passed to shine light on Jackson Pike, and that's damn sure what I'm gonna do. They say they just sweeping it up under the rug, like she didn't matter. Rika matters. Can we repeat that? Rika matters. Rika matters, and there's no way Jackson Pike is going to get away with they acting like my daughter did not exist, like she didn't matter. I just laid my daughter to rest yesterday. Yesterday. But I'm still out here making a difference, sharing the story about my daughter and what happened to her, because it should not have happened. 12 hours. 12 hours. How many of our kids gonna die in Jackson Pike? How many? How many? We got a new police chief. Police chief, can you please do something about Jackson Pike? You got a problem. It ain't just my daughter. This was given to me as an assignment. It was 6 of them overdosed at the same time. But they took mine. God said, okay, I loaned her to you for 29 years. Now I'm bringing her back, okay? She just turned 29 Tuesday and dead on Saturday. Do you not think I'm angry? Do you not think I'm upset? Do you not think I'm pissed? Yes, I am. The system is not going to wipe her up under the rug like she never existed. They need to be investigated forwards, backwards, and sideways. They should not be able to be getting fentanyl into these prisons like it's candy. For 6 people to overdose at one time. 6. Can we all say 6? 6. 6. And no one heard nothing about it. If my daughter wouldn't have died, we still wouldn't have known nothing about it. Do you understand what I mean? It was given to me as an assignment to share the word about Jackson Pike. I don't know about no other prison. I got a problem with Jackson Pike. Because she went into Jackson Pike like that and came out of Jackson Pike. Come on, you gotta be on your pictures, Ed. Come on, Ed. Come on, Ed. She came out like that. She went in like that. Transparent. You don't get no more transparent than this. You don't get no more transparent than seeing your daughter in a coffin, making playlists and programs and figuring out who's this and who's that. That is the worst experience I ever have felt in my life. And it has to make a change in everyone's life to make something happen. The 26th of next month, wherever y'all are, y'all need to rally the people, go live, share these posts. We have to make a difference. Jackson, all it is money. All it is money. They get paid so much money per inmate. So why can't they protect them? All they supposed to worry about in jail is food and fighting. That's it. Not fentanyl. Some of the inmates are scared to touch anything because they don't know what's around there. That should not be. So can we please keep all of us in prayer, because this here is a blessing. All these people, they have been gathering around me and helping me and sharing information with me. This is not a battle. This is not me. I'm a social butterfly. I like to have fun, play beer, whiz, pool. You know, I'm a traditional kid. You know what I mean? I'm not an activist and all these type of things. But when they killed my baby, guess what? They got a pissed off mom they ain't gonna never forget. That's right. That's all I gotta say.
I know we got a new police chief, but the depths is controlled by the sheriffs. The same cat that's letting Murderer Mead off the hook, Dallas Baldwin, that's the same cat who was over there.
Talk about the court system too.
Court system.
And what the league is for 20 years.
I mean, it's everything can be argued, but right now we're talking about the workhouse.
But this same man that was in charge of this workhouse is the same man not responsible for one death.
Yes.
But multiple. 7 years ago, my fiance passed away in the county jail because it took them approximately 20 minutes to get to her because they were banging on the door, screaming for deputies, And the only thing these deputies did was come in there and look at her like she was retarded. See, I got the whole scoop on my little cousin about what happened because I got friends that's on the inside as well. And one of my friends just happened to be across the tank from Fredreca. So seeing the whole thing go down. I spoke to one of the girls that actually was one of the 6 persons that overdosed in it. I spoke to her physically on the phone while she's in the county jail now. And they still ain't doing nothing. She's still having symptoms. And they still ain't doing nothing. This gotta stop. Ain't nobody out here perfect. Everybody gets in trouble. Even as we were kids, we got in trouble. We got our ass whooped for any other thing we did.
That's right.
But that don't make us a bad person.
No, still a human being.
That don't give you the right to get treated like a fucking dog
No.
when you just made a simple mistake.
Thank you. That's right.
Because that's all it is a simple mistake. Yes, we gotta suffer consequences, but it's a simple mistake. A simple mistake shouldn't cost my little cousin her life.
That's right.
Plain and simple. Something got to be done. I'm a First Amendment auditor. I audit the police everywhere they go. I'm an asshole to them, so I'm gonna tell you now.
Good. I do too.
They don't like me. They try everything in their power to put me in jail, but I'm a man of knowledge.
Thank you. Smarter than me.
I know the law. So you're not gonna just talk to me any type of way you want to because
That's right.
I'm a black person on this street.
Thank you.
Just because I don't have the job you have, that don't make me no different than you.
That's right. That's right.
Because you are a police officer who enforce the law, not take lives.
That's right.
And that's what y'all been doing.
Yes.
Columbus police, Franklin County sheriffs, all these little township police officers, all that, they're no different than anybody else.
They're not.
Because they do the same shit that everybody else do. You get trained by one sergeant, that sergeant trains this person, that person, that person, that person, they all act the same.
Yes, they do.
And it's unnecessary. We got rights just as much as a police officer got rights. I got a right to go home. If I even get in trouble and go to jail, I still have the right to pay my bond and go home the same way I came in this county jail.
Right. That's right.
That gives you no right for me to have my parents call and tell her my child is dead. I shouldn't have to get a call at 1 something in the morning to say, hey, Mr. Small, your fiance was rushed to Mark Carmel West Hospital. Because we mistakenly gave her the wrong medication. That's the problem with this system here. That's the problem with the workhouse. And the workhouse in the county jail is the same. They're no different. They work the same. They work on the same policy. So they're not excluded. Because they do the same thing as the workhouse does. I had to go down there the other day and flip out on them. Almost got arrested. Because I had my brother call me. He's in the county jail. He has cirrhosis of the liver. My brother was in there for 5 days. He's still in there now. He was in there for 5 days and ain't got no medical treatment.
That's how they do. Yeah.
And by my brother being a constant drinker, he has the shakes. He called me from another person, had to hold the phone for him because he's shaking so bad. Because the county will not do nothing. The county jail won't do nothing. They claim, hey, we got all the medications in here for them. No, you don't. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody ever have somebody go to county jail and you gotta take their medication down there for what they take, they only write their medication down. They don't take the medication. They write it down, and the first thing they tell you is, okay, we good. And then that's it. Then you get a phone call from somebody in there saying, hey, your loved one is messed up in here because they didn't give them the medication. But then when you go down there and complain, you're wrong. You're the wrong one. You're the wrong one. You're the one that's causing all this disturbance. Something has to be done, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it does. Somebody else's child be in the same boat as me. Another parent is in the same boat as me. We don't want to lose no more lives because Jackson Pike don't want to do their job. Whether it's medications, drugs, people have seizures, negligence. I mean, I heard a whole CO said that my daughter, when those girls passed out, that they shouldn't have took what they should have took anyway.
Oh,
There was no immediate response. I can't wait to see these records. I can't wait to see the records. I can't wait to see the surveillances they have. But that's in time. But
I got two more things to say. All right, we've talked about what other people have done to us, or have done to a family member, or something like that. So we need something to flex our muscle, flex our power. Like I said, when I run the downtowners, we have every number from the prosecutor to the mayor to the governor to Dallas Baldwin. Feel free to come to our our Facebook page and get them numbers. Call them. From personal experience, I know it works. I know what 3 people have made press conference come from out of blue. It's amazing what a couple people can do with a couple phone calls. They hate them phone calls. Call them. Call them. That boils up their time. That means if you get enough phone calls, they're going to have a meeting. And then once they have the same script, they're going to tell you every time they call, that means you're working, and you keep calling even more until you get the change. You got to put the pressure on it because they just wait for everybody to be passive. Just like America, we already know how we is. We 15 minutes of fame, and then we move on to the next thing, but we can't move on to the next thing, even though they give us the next thing to move on to. And my second point. Somebody called me about somebody that got harassed by the police. They got beat up by the police. They had a mental health thing. They got arrested. They went to jail. They could not be found by the police for like 3 or 4 days. Somehow they get found, blah, blah, blah. They get found. They have surgery. Once again, they did not have the medication. They did not let them keep the medication. But when this young man was arrested, 2 people also was arrested at this time. So at the same time that her daughter was in the cell doing this, another person was in the cell doing this. And I thought it was her daughter. Through conversation, though, that they banging on the door. They saying they banging on the doors and they're talking about come help this lady. She's Odine in here. They said, fuck her. I hope she died. And she did. I'm thinking that this family. This is the white girl. Who is this white girl? Who was it? If it wasn't, this is how the Lord works. If it wasn't for her and her speaking up for her, none of this would ever came out.
That's right.
So please call these numbers. Please put this support. You don't have to come out to these rallies. We will hold a rally every 26th.
Yes.
The downtowners will hold one at the jail downtown. The 26th, we will be there. We will be there with flash and all that, how we do. But we're going to do it every month.
And that's the thing.
But you can call
we need to, everybody come down. Not just a few people, everybody. Because if you get a lot of people down there and you raising hell, that's going to wake them up. That's going to say, hey, something going on. We got too many people out here. Something ain't right. Something got to get done. Because if we quit, that's what they want us to do.
Right.
They want us to quit. They don't want us to do this type of shit here. They don't like this. They don't want us to. Much as we here and we get out the way, we're out there here. They ain't got to worry about it. They can move on to the next phase. No. This don't need to stop here. It got to go downtown, to the workhouse, to the county jail, to the state office, to everywhere. It got to keep going. Because if it stops, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. They're going to keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to laugh in our face. Because that's what the hell they're doing now. It's laughing in our face. Because they think shit is sweet. They think shit is a joke. They think they're covered, and they think they're better than we are. They think the law can save them. Just like some of us lie on stuff, they lie just as well. There's plenty of people out here that have been arrested falsely because somebody want to lie on the report.
That's right. That's true.
That's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. We got to keep this going. This can't stop just here.
That's right.
This can't stop just here. We got to show them at that workhouse we not playing. You got our loved ones in there. You got our loved ones in there that y'all treating like dogs.
took mine's life. So you know.
And my fiance ain't no dog.
That's right.
It's not happening.
I'm gonna tell you now, I got 2 little mini pocket bullies at home. $10,000 a dog. Them dogs.
That's right.
I'm a human being. Just as well as everybody in that workhouse is a human being. They made a mistake. They're paying for their mistake. But that don't mean they walk out in a body bag.
No, sure don't.
That don't mean they do that. That don't give y'all the right to do that. Y'all can't judge this lady.
That's right. Only God can do it.
That man upstairs can the only
God
person that can judge him.
That's right. That's right.
So something got to be done, ladies and gentlemen. We can't stop here. This got to keep going. Signs got to keep putting up. Billboards got to be put up. Everything got to. It can't stop. That's just all I'm saying. It can't stop. Black, white, orange, yellow, purple, Asian, whatever. We all got to come together and make them pay. It's not about us.
That's right.
It's not about us. We're living proof. It's about these victims that can't speak. Not just for my little cousin. Not just for my little cousin, for that white lady. For the other 5 people in there. And whoever else that was in there that got loved ones that was in there that had a medical problem and ain't with us today because of them. That's where it gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. It gotta keep going. This can't stop. This can't stop.
So can we please all together say, we can pass the shine light on Jackson Pike. Can we do that on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. We can pass the shine light on Jackson Pike. We can pass the shine light on Jackson Pike. I can't hear y'all.
We can pass the shining light on Jackson Pike.
What does she do?
We can pass the shining light on Jackson Pike.
And that damn show what we gonna do.